Hi, I'm Ｄaنa Hokana. I'm here with ClиниCsc, one of my favorite clients and friends, and her mare Lily. So we're recapping what we've learned and how we're going to finish a horse. Because everybody wants to know how you finish a horse. So this mare Lily has learned a lot, and now Kelly is putting the finishing touches on her. She keeps her at home, does it herself, and she's needing those last, that last 20%, right? And so let's just recap. Because all of these phases of her training, we're going to have to maintain and go back to and go back to and go back to. And that's part of the value of putting a good foundation on a horse. You can go back to that foundation, go back to that moment. So we start with body control. We layer the ability to take her face, take her here or there, body control. We then use our exercises that we've learned and all that body control to collect and balance her. Right? Balance her between the reins, have her lift and flow when you lope, have a frame, a headset, get her face. We balance her and collect her. Then we refine that. Is she running off, leaving? Is she staying? Is she locking in? Is she staying in a gear? Is she being obedient? And we refine it, paying attention. Is she willing to your leg? Is she mad at your leg? Is she uncomfortable somewhere? Is she out of balance? So we teach body control to great depth. We then take body control and we balance and collect our horse with it. Then we very carefully pay attention to where we're at and what we've done with them, right? Then with your horses, you started putting them in a bridle. And through all that body control and all that exercise, we would do circles, rectangles, counter canters, squares, whatever you want to do, straight lines. Then you want your horses in a bridle, one-handed in a shank bridle. So we start teaching them the message of an indirect rein pull or neck reining, right? We start teaching them how the shank bridle connects to the interior of the horse's mouth and has a totally different signal mechanism, how to use your hands with that shank bridle, okay? Now then, the next thing we're trying to do, that I believe you're trying to do, is you're trying to now teach guide and neck rein and set your speed, right? Yeah. Setting that speed is important, which that really was starting to go in step 2 or step 3. And that's why we can go back to step 2 or step 3 and make sure we didn't miss that point, that when we jog, they're to lock in and stay at the speed we tell them. And through all that collection and then maintaining their acceptance, we dealt with transitions, which transitions are...
Hi, I'm Ｄaنa Hokana. Knowledge correctly applied is powerful and can transform you and your horse. Team Hokana Video Club gives you the knowledge and shows you how to apply it. Over 200 online training videos to help you in your daily workout with your horse, and new ones being released monthly. My goal is to help you transform your riding and your horse's performance. Join our team today. Go to Hokana.com.
Which transitions are a finishing kind of a exercise that can be really difficult for some horses, right? And difficult for you. Putting in the bridle, managing transitions, riding one-handed, teaching her to guide. And now one of our last couple steps is to teach her to stay or to have self-carriage, right? That you can put your hand down and on a loose rein, she doesn't feel the need to roar off. And I think that's really where we've been at a lot. Yeah. And the step after that is also leg control. To have the leg control to where your leg control.
Oh, okay.
And that's something that I usually would be incorporating in there all the way. And you have them. You have acceptance to your leg. Your leg doesn't just mean go, right? Your leg can also mean move over, can mean lift, right? But on a finished show horse, on a loose rein, at our level, often we use our legs to rate them or slow them also. And that's something that you've never incorporated or started. But that's something that would really, really help you finish that workout. But those are the steps that we went through. Does that sound right? Does that make sense?
Exactly. But I have a question. So I always wonder at home when I'm riding and I go to move her over, I'll use my legs, whether I use them both to collect her or I use one to move her hip. I always have to pick up on my reins and hold, so I wonder in the future when I have slack in my reins, how am I going to be able to apply my legs without her going forward?
Exactly. And that's maybe a piece that you training her at home, had she been trained here, I would have put on her. And maybe that was a lot or above you, or we've been just still focusing on maybe 1, 2, 3, and 4 of those steps. But that is part of that leg control. That's next. That leg doesn't mean go always, but it can mean go. Leg can mean move over, lift up, slow down. You need to be able to put your legs on her and have her respond to your cues without shooting out the door, right? And one thing that's been an issue for you is you've spent a lot of your life riding with your legs stuck out like this. When a horse challenges me and does not want me to put my leg on them, I often spend the time needed to be able to put my leg on. Like, your leg needs to be just another part of her daily workout in life. So good question, and that I think needs to be where we start next. Do you know what I mean? That we need to we need to incorporate the demand for self-carriage and stay, and some leg control, right? Good. So that's kind of the progression of making a horse.
Yeah, all the pieces, all that you
all
just
put
said
together
was all coming together for me.
Right. So remember that and think of it.
For 10 years, I've used the TR3 Classic drag to keep my performance horses at their peak. And now I'm so excited to say that we now have that TR3 E series. There just isn't anything better than that TR3 Arena drag to help make my performance and my program complete. So no matter the size of your program, good footing should matter to you. So contact ABI today and get your Arena drag.